Allison Kirsch, and I am a licensed psychotherapist and also body worker. I'm a yoga teacher, and I work with somatic experiencing. So, in today's breath work, also called pranayama, I want to mention that you should listen to your body as we're doing these exercises, always taking into consideration how you feel. So, if I guide you towards something that doesn't feel right, know that you can shift and do something slightly different. So, finding a comfortable position for yourself to start, I am sitting on a bolster, but you can sit on a yoga mat, you can sit cross-legged. Sometimes helpful to have your hips just a little bit higher than your knees so that it feels, comfortable to sit here for a few minutes. So once you feel comfortable, let's take a few minutes to just land here. Know that you chose to come to this practice and just let the breath breathe itself. Not needing to do anything special with the breath just yet. And as you settle, you may want your eyes open, taking a soft gaze, or feel free to close your eyes if that feels more comfortable. Knowing that you can shift between eyes open or closed at any point. And noticing contact with the surface that you're sitting on. And scanning your body head to toe, side to side, front to back. And taking in the whole body. Noticing where your prana or energy is now as we get started. And so we'll begin with something called three-part breathing. You may want to place one hand on your belly and one hand over your heart. And we're going to do this breath in three parts, starting by inhaling and moving your belly away from your spine, continuing to let the breath come up towards your ribs and expand your ribs, and then all the way up as your collarbones rise. Maybe pausing for a moment at the top of the breath and then reversing that. So letting the breath come out through the collarbones, down to the ribs, and then back to the belly. Exhaling, relaxing, let the belly come back towards the spine. And we'll repeat that. Breath coming in through the belly, ribs, collarbone, and back out. Collarbones, ribs, belly. And now at your own pace, taking 2 or 3 more breaths just like that, trying to keep a deep, slow breath. Maybe considering lengthening your exhale, which we know does settle the nervous system. And as you lower your hands, taking one more 3-part breath, just letting your hands relax to the sides. And pausing here to notice any shift in your energy. And our next breath will be a little more active. We're going to use our arms for this one. So you may have to open your eyes and look at me at least once while we do this. So letting the arms come up to the sides. And then at the top, clasping the hands together as you come back down. And then letting the arms come out and back up. And then letting the arms slowly come down. And we'll do that again, and this time pacing with the breath. So on the in-breath coming up, and clasping your hands together, and on the out-breath coming down. In-breath coming forward and up, and on the out-breath lowering. Let's do this together nice and slow a couple more times. Breathing in, clasping and breathing out, and in, and out. Let's try this 2 more times. Breathing in as we come up, breathing out here, coming forward as you breathe in, and letting the arms float down as you breathe out. Last one here, breathing in and out, coming forward as you breathe in, and letting the arms float down as you breathe out. And just noticing maybe where you feel some warmth in your body, noticing how it feels to take this active practice. And taking a couple of breaths here, just letting the breath breathe itself. Checking in with the body. And transitioning to our next breath. On this one, we'll work on cleansing impurities from the lungs and nasal passageways. And so the inhale will be passive, I'll show you, and the exhale will be active. And we're going to use our abdominal muscles, bringing them towards our spine as we sort of use them to pump air out. So you're going to contract your abdominals. So it'll look like this. Okay, so let's do that together. And just letting the breath coming in be passive and letting the exhale be a little more active. And pausing here, taking a breath in and holding it for a 10 count. And relaxing, letting the exhale happen. And again, letting the breath come and go naturally and just noticing any shifts in energy, warmth in your body, wherever you're feeling something, maybe notice. So the hold that we did there is called kumbhaka, and that provides a little bit of highly charged prana. So that can be sort of energizing as well. Okay, so the next one we'll do, this is called Bastrika or bellows breath. This one is going to be even more active. So we're actually going to get our arms involved. I'll show you first. So this is going to be big, fast, and we're going to have full breaths. It's going to be an active inhale and an active exhale. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. I'm going to bring my arms up and down, but if you have any issues with shoulders or neck or anything that feels like not okay about that, just adjust as you need to. So this is going to look like this. Okay, so let's try that together, and we'll do this maybe 20 or 30 times. And then at the end, again, we'll do a short hold. I'll cue you. Okay, here we go. And then take an in-breath and hold it for 10 seconds. And exhale slowly, letting go of the breath. And maybe let's close our eyes for a few breaths here, just letting the breath come and go, just checking in with yourself. That's a pretty active one. Noticing your heart. If you're noticing maybe your shoulders have crept up, maybe letting your shoulders drop, maybe letting your jaw relax, imagining like ice melting to liquid, letting yourself soften into this. Okay. And the next one, we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. Um, we're not going to alternate every other breath like you might have practiced before. We're going to do sun breath and moon breath. And so what you'll do is we'll use one hand to close the left nostril and breathe in and out through the right for a few breaths. That's the sun breath, has a warming effect. And then after that, we'll close the right and we'll breathe with the left. That's moon breath, which has a cooling effect. So we'll do sun and then moon. This can help with calm and focus. Also, like is thought to bring the right and left hemispheres of the brain online. So let's give this a try. So, some people like to close their nostril with the pinky and ring finger. You may even put your index and middle finger between your eyes. Um, and so closing the left nostril, you can have your eyes open or closed for this and just breathing in and out through the right nostril, really slowing things down, deepening the in-breath and extending the out-breath. Noticing if your jaw has tightened up and maybe just trying to let it be soft as you continue this sun breath. Noticing on this one if your mind wanders and letting your attention come back to the breath. Maybe bringing attention to the feel of air coming in and out of the right nostril. And after your next out breath, letting the hand come down and just relax and notice the effects of this single nostril breathing. Checking in with any tension that may be present. And now we'll do the same single nostril breath on the other side. And so this time, maybe closing the right nostril with the thumb. Again, you can bring the index and middle to your between your eyes, or you can just let it sort of softly hang. And begin breathing here for moon breath. Again, lengthening the inhale, extending the exhale, slowing down. Knowing that what the mind does is wander, and so kindly and non-judgmentally bringing attention back to the breath. Noticing maybe if the arm is feeling tired. You can always support the arm if you need to. Letting the long exhale settle us by turning on the parasympathetic nervous system. And on the next exhale, letting the arm relax, letting the eyes close if you'd like, and checking in again, noticing sensations from this practice. And then for our last breathwork practice today, you may need to again open eyes to see me. This is sometimes referred to as humming bee breath or Brahmari. So you're going to close your mouth, and I like to use sort of my four fingers here to gently cover my eyes. So you're not pressing, you're just gently resting so that you're covering your eyes. And then I'll let my thumbs come out and just close my ears. So my mouth, once I stop talking, will be closed. My eyes will be covered, my ears will be closed. And once you're in that position, you're going to hum a long exhale. And we're going to do this 5 times. So I'll demonstrate. Mm. And I could have probably made that one longer, but I want you to join in with me. So let's try this a few times. So again, covering your eyes gently, letting your ears close with your thumbs, closing your mouth, and on an exhale, lengthening a hum. Mm. And after the fifth, you can let your hands come down. Maybe take a couple of breaths here with eyes open or closed, however you'd like. Noticing the effects of these few practices. And maybe again coming back to the body, noticing contact with your seat. And in our last few minutes, we'll do a short body scan meditation. Again, your eyes can be closed or you may want to have them open with a soft gaze. And letting attention shift down towards your feet, towards both feet. Checking in with each toe. Noticing from the inside out your feet, the arches, the heels, the tops of your feet. Letting the spotlight of attention circle up to both ankles. Noticing bones, tendon, ligament, skin, maybe the sense of clothing, socks. And letting attention come up towards the calves and shins. Circling there. Noticing as we scan if attention wanders. Knowing that noticing is the key, coming back to our body scan. And letting attention come up toward the knees. And again up towards the thighs. Resting attention in the thighs. Noticing the upper legs from the inside out. Remembering to breathe through this body scan practice. And letting attention draw up to the buttocks, the pelvis. Noticing the external and also the internal. Genitals, internal organs. Noting that the pelvis is like a bowl. Letting attention rest here. And letting attention travel up towards the stomach. Noticing the stomach with the breath. Maybe noticing the expansion and contraction of the rib cage. As attention travels up towards the chest. Noticing the powerful heart. And letting attention circle to our back body, starting at the low back. Noticing the power of the spine to hold us upright. As attention travels up from the low back to the mid back, to the upper back, and landing in our shoulders. And letting attention travel down the upper arms. Noticing the upper arms and the elbows. Traveling to the lower arms and the wrists. Again, noticing if attention wanders. And coming back each time, kindly, non-judgmentally. Letting attention come into the hands, the palms, the backs of the hands, the fingers, each finger and thumb. And then attention coming back up to the shoulders and up to the neck. Noticing the throat and the back of the neck. If you notice tension, knowing there's nothing you need to do with it in this moment. Just noticing from the inside out. Maybe noticing the function of swallowing. What happens in this area as you breathe in and out. And then attention coming up into the chin and the jaw. Noticing the lips, the mouth, inside the mouth, where the tongue is. And noticing just above the lips, under the nose, maybe feeling the breath in that spot as you breathe in and out. Noticing the attention on the cheeks, the ears, and back in towards the eyes, eyelashes, eyebrows, and up to the forehead. And now circling the head, the back of the head, and coming to rest at the top. And now start ending where we started, noticing your whole body, head to toe, side to side, front to back. And taking a couple of breaths here, letting attention take in the whole body. And when you feel ready, maybe wiggling a little, wiggling fingers and toes, maybe letting your head move side to side. And when you feel ready, opening the eyes if they've been closed. Can feel helpful to maybe even take in your surroundings, moving your head around and looking with your eyes, head, and neck as we come back to our shared space together. Thank you so much for participating today. I appreciate it. Namaste.